Go ahead, Dean.
Okay, so we're going to get started, and it's great to see you all. Um, we are going to be providing you a little bit of an orientation for your role on the Content Advisory Committee for the 2026 annual meeting. I want to thank you all for your expression of interest in being on this committee. We received about 120 expressions of interest for people who wanted to serve this year, and ultimately made some decisions on about 35 of you who are on the committee who represent all geographies, different types of museums and sizes of museums, as well as people who are working in all functional areas in the museum. I have actually, my name's Dean Faylis. I'm editor-in-chief of Museum Magazine, and I also oversee learning here at AAM, and had been overseeing the annual meeting for many years, and then was doing various other responsibilities here at AM, and working very closely in partnership with my colleague Tiffany Gilbert, who was the director of the annual meeting, who will be helping us and leading us along, providing a lot of information with regard to this orientation. I'm also to have thrilled joining us Jessica Chavez, who's an AM board member and is Vice President of Education and Chief Learning Officer at the Griffith Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. And to get us started, I thought we would just go around and everyone just introduce themselves and their role in the museum they're at. We can start with Erin first.
Hello, I'm Erin Brown. I'm curator of collections at the Oklahoma Territorial Museum. We have a staff of 3.5 people, but we are within a larger state agency in Oklahoma for the Oklahoma Historical Society. I am currently secretary of the Registrar's Committee for Mountain Plains Museums Association. So collections work and creating exhibits are two of the things that I focus on.
Great, fantastic. And Sophie.
Hi, I'm Sophie Worley. I'm at the Neuberger Museum of Art, where I am currently the head registrar, and we are undergoing a big change, going from an embark to a new database system, and a big capitals project for improving collections. And I'm new here. I've only been here under 6 months, but it's a big task. And I have big plans for involving digital systems. And our staff is under 20, a full-time, and we are part of SUNY Purchase. So we have a lot of student work study opportunities. And I'm very honored and happy to be part of this very special committee.
Great, welcome. And Vincent.
Hello, I'm Vincent Hawley. I'm the exhibitions manager at the sorry, there's too many things happening here. At the Michener Art Museum in Pennsylvania. We're about an hour outside of Philly, and yeah, we just opened a pretty great new show on Nila Koyamaga, and it's pretty fantastic. So if you're in the area, you should come see it.
Great, great. And Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie Ryman. I'm the Manager of Education and Public Programming at the National Museum of Industrial History in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. We're on the site of the former Bethlehem Steel Corporation plant in Bethlehem. And I do a bunch of different roles. We're about a staff of 12 full, well, maybe not that many, 10 full-time. So I do education, public programming, outreach, a little bit of everything. And I'm very happy to be a part of this.
Great, welcome. And Abby.
Hi, I'm Abby Battis from Historic Beverly. Historic Beverly is located in Beverly, Massachusetts, about 20 miles north of Boston, immediately next door to Salem. So as you can imagine, we're ramping up our tourism for October. I've been with Historic Beverly for over 8 years now, in the role of collections manager. And over the last 6 months, I am the new director. So it's an exciting time for me. Historic Beverly has 10 staffers, 3 of them full-timers, and the rest part-time. And I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Great, welcome. And Neva Hoffman.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to meet you all. So I'm Neva Hoffman. You can just call me M, just a single letter, short and sweet. I'm the Culture and Change Director at the Jewish Museum of Maryland in Baltimore, Maryland. So not too far from Philly. I was just there last week. Looking forward to returning and seeing you all there. I have my background is in collections. I studied archives, and then have kind of pivoted within museums. And now I'm wearing a lot of hats. I oversee our communications team, visitor services, public art, public programs. We have a new audiovisual production studio as well. Yeah, wear a lot of hats. I'm a museum generalist. So, and we're a staff of 18.
Welcome. And Jean.
Hi, everybody. Jean Schultz Angel from Naper Settlement outside Chicago in Naperville, Illinois. I'm the Associate Vice President of Humanities. We're an outdoor history museum, 13 acres, 30 structures. Really, we're the suburbanization story, sort of incarnate. I'm also the president of Illinois Association of Museums. So I'm a big cheerleader for museums all across the state, and happy to be here on this committee. Thanks so much.
Welcome. And Lindsay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lindsay Nevin. I am the Director of Donor Engagement for the Philadelphia Museum of Art. I think out of everyone on this committee, I have the shortest journey to when we were actually in person, since I'm just down the parkway from the Franklin Institute. But I've been at the museum for about a little over 7 years, working in advancement. But previous to that, I worked in public programs, and have done some other activities in the arts and cultural scene here in Philadelphia. So I'm really excited to be part of this group and representing advancement. Just excited to be part of this. Thanks.
Great, welcome. And Ian.
Good afternoon, everybody. Ian Kerrigan. I am in New York City at the 9/11 Memorial Museum, where I serve as the Senior Vice President for Exhibitions. I'm very honored to be on the committee this year because I'm originally from Philadelphia, so happy to be part of it this year.
Fantastic. And Jeff.
Hey, everybody. Jeff Martin here with Philbrook Museum of Art. I'm the Director of Communications. I've been here for about 16 years, and I'm also the host of the public radio podcast Museum Confidential, and we're about to launch our 10th season this month. I just got back from Salem. We're going to do a show on the Peabody Essex Museum up there. Had a great experience there and excited to share that.
Welcome. John.
How you doing? My name is John Connolly. I'm with the Harvard Art Museums in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I'm the Director of Marketing. I've been with the museums for 6 years now, and we went free about 2 years ago, free admission. So that was a big deal for us, and kind of like integrating ourselves deeper into the community. And we have about 50 plus galleries, about 2,000 objects on view, and about 250,000 in the collection. We have about 200 people working at the museums. I've been working a lot more with visitor experience and data collection, and how to learn from our visitors and become more visitor-centered. Definitely feels like a good time to be at the museums, and it's great to be with this group. And thanks very much for involving me. I'm thrilled to look forward to what's ahead.
Susanna.
Hi, I'm assuming I'm the only Susanna. I am at the Franklin Institute. I'm the Director of Collections and Curator here. Thanks for the shout out of the street. I focus on collections, overseeing the collections, but I also manage the library and the journal of the Franklin Institute. I have a staff of 2. It's a department of 3 currently, and we have a staff of, including full and part-time, 300 people. We have a small collection of about 40,000 items. In this past November, we just opened a collection center that I'm still moving into. So I have some exciting experience with building operations and moves, etc. I've been here for 20 years. Before that, I taught in historical houses in Philadelphia. And I'm extremely happy to be on the committee. I'm excited to hear everyone else's stories as well.
Welcome. And Sky.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sky Malish Olson. I am head of exhibition design at the High Museum of Art in Atlanta. I'm also very excited to come back to Philadelphia this year, as I'm also from Philly originally. So that's always fun for me. We are a larger museum and encyclopedic art museum. Our staff is about 90 right now. And our staff in the exhibition design department design all of the 3D exhibitions. We have a very robust exhibition schedule and then manage all of the graphic design on campus as well. Excited to be here. Thank you.
Welcome. And Kara.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kara Delati, and I'm the Director of Collections and Library Services at the International Center of Photography in New York City. And I've been with the institution a little under a year now. Really excited to work with everyone on this upcoming conference.
Welcome. And Cecilia.
I'm Cecilia Walls. I am the Assistant Director for Learning, Content, and Operations at AAM, so I work very closely with Dean, and very excited to be on this committee with you all. I am a recovering registrar coming from historic houses and historic museums, so just happy to be here. Thanks.
And Jessica.
Hi, everybody. Oh, which Jessica? Is there
Sorry,
two?
Jessica,
Of course, there's more
sorry.
than one of us.
Sorry, Jessica Bicknell.
Hi, I'm Jess Bicknell. I work at the University of Pennsylvania Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology as the Director of Exhibitions. Nice to meet everyone. On to you, other Jessica.
Hello, Jessica Chavez here. I am at the Griffin Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago, and really looking forward to getting to know all of you and working closely with Dean and supporting however I can.
Great, welcome. And Melinda.
Hello. Oops, did you say Melinda or Glenda? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Melinda.
Thanks, Glenda. Hi, I'm Melinda McCrary. I am the institutional giving officer at the Chicago History Museum. I've been in my position for about 2.5 years now. And we have about 90 to 100 employees at Chicago History, so we're really mid-size. Before I took this position, I was executive director of small local history museums in the San Francisco Bay Area. So when you say museum generalist, I like that. So yeah, happy to learn from you all and get this conference in order in Philadelphia. Thanks for having me.
Great, thank you. And Sam.
Hi, everyone. Sam Scalf. I am the manager of adult and access programs at the Museum of the Shenandoah Valley in Winchester, Virginia. So beautiful Shenandoah Valley here. We are a mid-sized museum with history, art, trails formal gardens, etc., and staff of about 30 full-time. And I'm really excited to, it was last year was my first year attending AAM. I'm really excited to be part of this group now.
Fantastic. And Emily.
Hi there, I'm Emily Craig. I am the manager of gallery learning at LACMA, so I oversee our docents in our school tour program and have done a lot of evaluation work as well. So I'm really excited to be here.
Fantastic. And Jen?
Hey everyone, I'm Jen Tobias. I'm the Associate Director of Exhibitions and Art Collections and Curator of Art at Denver Botanic Gardens. So I oversee exhibitions indoors and out, as well as collections. I've been here about 15 years, so I'm an old timer at the gardens now. The gardens as a whole has about 200 employees, and we are essentially a miniature art museum within the larger museum. My team on both the interpretation exhibition side is about 30 these days. And I'm excited to meet you all in person in Philadelphia.
Great, welcome. Amanda.
Hi, I'm Amanda Blake. I'm the Director of Education, Library, and Visitor Experience at the Amon Carter Museum of American Art. We're a mid-sized museum in Fort Worth, Texas, specializing in American art from 18th century to present day. We have about 80 full-time staff and about 30 to 40 part-time staff. And I'm excited to be a part of this group and look forward to the experience.
Great. Mike.
I had to give it a good pause there. I was going to be a Jessica and Melinda situation. Usually it's my life with a name like mine. Hi, folks. I'm Mike Medea, Director of Education at the Independent Seaport Museum here in Philadelphia. We have 2 historic ships, an active boat building workshop, on water programming, and a museum that tells the history of Philadelphia through the lens of the Delaware River. Excited to be here.
Fantastic. And Tracy.
Hey everyone, I am Tracy Carvin. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the Please Touch Museum. It's a children's museum in Philadelphia. We have about 90 employees. I have also been the Chief Growth Strategy Officer, so I've pretty much done every job outside of running the learning department.
Great.
Happy to be here.
Welcome. And Joe.
Good afternoon, everybody. Joe Imholt, Vice President of Experience with the American Swedish Institute. Forgive me for being not on camera, but it's telling me it's disabled. So you all benefit from not seeing me today. The American Swedish Institute has a staff of about 40, and we are a museum and cultural center in Minneapolis.
Great, welcome. And Holly.
Hi, everyone. Excited to work with you all. I'm Holly Karras. I'm the Chief Curator at the Cummer Museum of Art and Gardens in Jacksonville, Florida. Overall, we've got a staff in the mid-50s. In addition to serving as Chief Curator, I also oversee a division that incorporates the Historic Gardens Learning and Engagement and Marketing teams. And I'm currently serving as the Acting Director of Marketing and Strategic Communications. Excited to be with you all in a few weeks in Philly.
Great. And Sierra.
Hi, folks. I am Sierra Van Richtegroot. Pronouns are she, her. I'm the Associate Educator of College and University Programs at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and I'm excited to be here with you all.
Fantastic. And Glenda.
Hello, I am Glenda Turner. I'm the Senior Director for Marketing and Public Relations, and we are a state agency as well. We have 2 museums, the American Revolution Museum at Yorktown and also Jamestown Settlement. We have about 400 plus employees, about 1,200 volunteers across both of our museums. We have outdoor living areas as well as gallery spaces.
Fantastic. And Mike.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mike Adams. I serve as Director of Museum and Audience Engagement at Hagley Museum and Library in Wilmington, Delaware, just outside Philadelphia. In that role, I oversee, and I know this is a loaded thing to say, the usual museum things. So collections, education, visitor services, as well as membership, special events, marketing, and design. I've been here for almost 5 years. When I'm not here, I am the Board Vice President of the emerging Oscar Hammerstein Museum and Theater Education Education Center in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, about an hour north of Philadelphia. And very excited to be part of this group and excited to welcome you all to Philly next year.
Welcome, Mike. And Lily.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lily Sugram, she, her pronouns. I'm the Exhibitions and Publications Project Manager at the Cantor Arts Center at Stanford University in the San Francisco Bay Area. We're an encyclopedic collection of about 38,000 works of art, staff of about 45. And I've been here about a year. And before that, I spent about a decade at the New York Historical Society in New York City as a curator for history exhibitions. So I've got a little bit of wide range. I'm not sure I'm at generalist yet, but excited to work with all of you.
Great, welcome. And Victoria.
Hello, everyone. My name is Victoria Sanchez Perez. I most recently joined AAM about almost 6 months ago. I recently came from the Field Museum in Chicago and worked at several institutions in Chicago as well. Looking forward to working with everyone on the content planning.
Great. Michelle.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Michelle Tovar. I am the Director of Education at the Buffalo Soldiers National Museum. I've been in the museum world for a while. Previously, I was at Holocaust Museum Houston and founded the Latino initiatives there, which led for it to be a bilingual space. So currently at the museum I'm at, we are renovating and also creating a space that's going to be bilingual for our students and also a more inclusive space for our Indigenous community. Great to be here.
Welcome. And John.
Hello all, I'm John Shaw with Museum EXP. I'm a principal, which mostly means I'm doing project management and exhibit development for projects, everything from history and natural history museums to science centers, children's museums, and nature centers. Before this, I spent about 20 years on staff at different science centers and children's museums, and looking forward to meeting you all in person.
Great. So I think that's most of you, and you can see how diverse a group you are, representing all different kinds of museums and sizes and all geographies across the United States. We're going to now turn it over to Tiffany, who's going to talk a little bit about initially an overview of the timeline, and then some of the expectations that we have of the Content Advisory Committee, review some of the guidelines for proposals, and then you'll get a tutorial on the review site.
Thanks, Dean, and nice to e-meet all of you. Some of you I have met in person, and really thrilled that you all wanted to be a part of this. This is one of my favorite parts of of being a part of the planning process. Dean is I'm kind of like a simp for Dean. He's been a mentor for me, and appreciates my love of like content and education and audience engagement and strategic planning and all that. So I'm always excited about the Content Advisory Committee, and very, very appreciative for all of the work that you all are going to do, and just wanted to be a part of making 2026 really great. So thank you all for that. I'll go over the timeline real quick. I have sent you all, and it's also, there's a link in the email I just sent you, as well as the agenda to the 2026 CAC roles, responsibilities, and timeline. I'm just going to touch on a few like key points, but when you get a chance, just take a look at that for a little more in-depth information. If you have any questions outside of that, you can reach out to me or Dean anytime. But very quickly, the open call for proposals is currently open. It opened August 26th and it closes September 26th, 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will probably get most of our proposals at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But yes, that's generally how it's going to go. In the past, for some of you who have served on the Content Advisory Committee, we would do a rolling review, meaning as they were finished, you could go in and start reviewing proposals. This year, we decided to collect all of the proposals first, and then open up the review process for you all. And that's September 29th through October 24th. so it's a good month. The goal obviously is to complete reviews of the proposals so that you can all meet in person November 3rd and 4th in the selection meeting. So that's the goal of that. Obviously, once you all get your scores in, Dean's going to have to manipulate all that information so you all have something to work with. So that's why we're targeting that date to finish reviews. And then after you all meet and make your selections, we bring back all of your recommendations for sessions and make sure we have covered all the bases. If there are any gaps in any content that we received or anything like that, so we all can kind of reach out to some of the submitters or see if we could get someone else to do something that maybe didn't come through on the call if necessary. And that's also part of what you all will be doing during this time, helping us identify things like that. And then November 17th, not November 17th exactly, but I'm going to say in November, it is our goal to send the notifications to submitters, those that we've accepted and those that we've decided to pass on. At that time, we'll also send any notes that may need to be shared with any of the accepted presentations. And then in early part of the year, the program will go out. We'll have the descriptions copy edited, but for the most part, that preliminary program should be available in December. That's just titles and the speakers' names. And we take the descriptions, get them copy edited, and those are usually on the site and available mid to late January-ish. And in March, between like sometime in March and April, Dean will reach out to you all again, just to call you all together, just going to give you an update on where things are with the annual meeting, where events are, keynotes, any of that kind of stuff, just so that you are aware of what to expect at annual meeting. Additionally, in this role, the expectation isn't that you're just reviewing proposals. We hope that you function as ambassadors for content and programming on site. Talk to presenters, talk to attendees about sessions, get some feedback, let them know who you are and how hard you worked to put that program together. So it is helpful for you all to be aware of what's going on so that when you go in, you're able to maybe chat with some of the speakers and attendees and get some feedback about things. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Those are like those key dates. Again, there's a more detailed breakdown of the timeline in the roles and responsibilities document. Any questions about any of those, the timeline or anything? Nope. Okay, perfect. And then
There's a
sorry,
question.
Ian. Go ahead.
Yeah, do you know the exact timing on the 3rd and the 4th? That we will be meeting.
Yep.
Yeah, so the meeting will start at around 8:30 on the 3rd. Typically it goes till 5 when we've been doing this in person. And then on the 4th, we should be finished by noon. We'll start at 8:30 or 9. So it's really a day and a half meeting.
Thanks, that helps.
Yep.
Any other questions? Okay, moving along. So just want to talk about a couple of expectations. Again, you can find more detailed outline of these, but some of the biggest things are this is a blind review. Obviously, we do ask, there's a question in the call for proposals that asks for a presenter description, and that doesn't include names and bios and museum institutions. Matter of fact, they should not include that at all. For the past few years, we've kind of started getting to the point where we're automatically rejecting proposals that do that. We want to grade proposals based on the content and the presenter description. And we've also given examples on the form of what that should look like. Mid-year exhibition professional at a large art museum. African-American woman and a early career museum professor. Something of that nature that outlines whether this this proposal will have speakers that can present or provide various different perspectives, rather, and that's how they should be describing themselves for you, so that you will know, okay, yes, they can, as opposed to a person in an institution. It's up to you. Last year, quite a few of the CAC were automatically because we've been saying it for a few years, and some folks, just don't read. But it is important to us that we are looking at the content and those who can deliver the content. We obviously want to have all reviews done by the 24th deadline. If you're not able to, just reach out to Dean, and we'll work something out so that maybe someone else can help with giving another set of scores if that's needed. But please just reach out to Dean and let him know if you're having some challenges or if you can't continue to review. Definitely follow all the guidelines, which Dean's going to go over some things. Again, it's in that roles responsibilities form. Please abstain from rating a proposal that may be a conflict of interest for you. If it's your institution, colleagues, or you worked on a particular program with whoever submitted the proposal, you're able to kind of recuse yourself in the system. So you can look at the proposal and you'll be given an option to continue with the rating or not. And once you do that, it kind of puts a note in for your other team members under your track that you couldn't rate this particular proposal because you had to recuse yourself, which is fine. Also, big thing, please maintain confidentiality. Before we send out acceptances, one year someone went on Twitter to announce that a particular proposal was rejected, and so we can't stress that enough. Obviously, after you all make recommendations for selections internally, we obviously look at what's there. We want to make sure we're including certain voices if something was overlooked. And so that's why we ask, because something could change in the time from your selections. And then just to clarify, I know we've mentioned this before, the in-person event November 3rd through 4th in Philadelphia, you or your institution are responsible for any of the travel and lodging that goes with that. And again, we thank you very much for being a part of that process. We have been virtual since the pandemic with these, and it was quite challenging having multiple virtual selection meetings and quite time consuming. In person, it's so much easier. You're all sitting together in a group, having conversations, and also you're able to access other folks right in the same room on another track. You may have a proposal that's great, but it might fit better under another track. And so it's good that you're all there together so you can have those discussions together. And pretty much that's not it. There's certainly more. Those are just some things I wanted to highlight. So I'll pass it back over to Dean. Thanks.
Great. Thanks so much, Tiffany. And thanks so much for all the hard work you've done in this process for the many years that you've been involved in doing it. So
thank you.
The annual meeting theme is live on our website. As all of you know, or if you don't know, the theme is the Museum Odyssey. It's focused specifically on time as the foundation of inquiry, learning, and knowledge. There are 5 subject tracks for the annual meeting in which proposals will be submitted. Museums as timekeepers, time travelers, time chroniclers, time seers, and there's another track that's specifically dealing with museum essentials and evolving practices. They're all defined in the theme. The field who's submitting proposals will see those definitions, what we mean by each one of those tracks. There are also subcategories within each track so that people will submit their proposals online via the subject track and the subcategory. So those will all come in through the process, and they will be all organized by track when we review them as a group on the 3rd and 4th. We will be sending out an email to you just asking you what your priorities might be in terms of the preferences that you have in terms of which of those tracks you want to serve on, and we'll make decisions on that. Typically, what's going to happen is we'll have about 7 people on each track who will be reviewing together the session proposals that came in that track, in that subcategory. They'll be all organized by score, from highest score to lowest score, which is sort of the artificial setting that we provide for these sessions. But ultimately, the discussions are really important in deciding which ones you will recommend to be part of the final program. In your review, and it's all in the guidelines that are on the website. The things that we're looking for is we want to ensure that the proposal was actually submitted in the right subject track, in the right subcategory, and the subtopic. Sometimes people are not necessarily clear on the focus of their presentation, and so they submit it in a track that doesn't really correspond with what the content of the session is all about. We want to ensure that there are diverse perspectives on panels where applicable. I believe the only exception here is it's not necessarily the case if in fact someone submits a proposal as a case study, that you have to ensure that there's diverse perspectives, because sometimes it's just one institution who's delivering information on a model at that institution. But other than that, we want to make sure that proposals that are coming through the process in general represent diverse backgrounds and relevance across disciplines, perspectives, regions, or institutional sizes. As Tiffany mentioned, it's a blind review, so typically you will not see the names or institutions of the people that will serve as presenters. And we also encourage this time that the session proposers are not going to use time traveler, time keeper, time chronicler, or time seer in their session titles, so that we just don't see all these titles having those in the title. And when you get this information online in terms of the proposals, you'll all be scoring them based on your designated track. And the things that you will be looking for in those proposals, there's about 5 criteria. And the first one being, is this proposal sufficiently focused? Is it developed? Is it clear? Is it concise? Is it relevant? Are there learning objectives there? Are they appropriate to the session description, or is there some sort of non-alignment? Is the content you feel timely? Do you feel that it's really something that should be discussed? Are there going to be any takeaways, whether that's going to be lessons learned from these sessions, or are there going to actually be any kind of resources that people can follow up with in order to do this work if they're interested in doing it, and to ensure that whatever session format has been selected is appropriate for the content that will be delivered. You will receive, before this process ends, and very soon, you're going to be receiving a letter from me indicating the agenda, or providing the agenda for the meeting on November 3rd and 4th. It'll also include logistical details. We have a block of hotel rooms that we've set aside for this group for those who need hotel accommodations, and how you go about making your hotel reservations will be embedded in that letter to you, as well as the location for the meeting over the 1.5 days, and other particulars that you're going to need to know. In general, as in the past, we'll all meet, those of us that are staying at the hotel will all meet in the lobby at a specific time. We'll walk over to the Franklin Institute. Those who aren't at the hotel will get there on their own. And in general, what's going to happen during that meeting, you'll be meeting in teams of 7 and actually discussing a lot of these proposals, certainly the ones that were top scorers, and making decisions on which ones of those you would recommend to be on the final program. I will provide at that time the number of proposals that each of your tracks can recommend. Just so you know, and I certainly didn't want to scare you off in giving you this information in advance. Last year, we had over 500 session proposals that were submitted. And that doesn't mean you review all 500 of them, but you usually are asked to but review about 100 of these proposals. And you will ultimately be discussing them on November 3rd together in your groups and making those decisions and recommendations. And then on the second day, which is November 4th, there will be team leads that will be assigned, and they will be reporting out on those sessions that they have recommended to move forward. Those kinds of areas or topics that they didn't see in the session subject track area that they wish they could have seen. There'll be some discussion on if there are any sessions that the group feels that they want to see developed for the annual meeting. We can see if a few of those can be developed and included in the program. And then we will close by getting your input and feedback on how this process worked for you and how it might be improved and going forward. So that's ultimately what I have to say about the on-site process and the review process. Are there any questions? Yes, Amiva.
Yes, so I have a question. Since this is a blind review process, but we're also expected to identify conflicts of interest and like recuse ourselves from evaluating those proposals, is it just accepted that like we will, if we have enough information from this review to say like, oh wait, this is my close colleagues thing, I'm not going to review this, then we won't, but also like recognizing that we might not actually have enough information to discern whether this is somebody that we worked with 3 years ago. If we don't know they're submitting, then that's just a thing that could happen. Am I correct there?
Tiffany, you can weigh in
Yeah,
there.
so and that may happen. There's not like a trigger that if you review something, it's like there's no spankings given out if you do that. But yeah, and sometimes some folks have reviewed, and in the selection discussions, they're like, oh wait, I know. It's not something that's that heavy, but a lot of times you may recognize what they're talking about, or if they're talking about a program at your own institution or someone that you work with, and so and that's perfectly fine. And if you do accidentally rate it, it's okay. It's just very clear things like if it's your proposal. or anything like that. So yes, no, it's not like a hard thing.
Thank you.
I think, yeah, and I think the priority issue here is if in fact you are on a proposal that's going to be discussed during the on-site meeting, that you just excuse yourself from the room and while that proposal is being discussed, and then we will bring you back into the room when that conversation is over. Any other questions? Okay, so Tiffany, you can talk a little bit now about the site, the review site.
Okay, cool. This is actually a pretty easy site. Others that are on the call that have reviewed using it before have all said it was very easy to work with. It's very user friendly. So what's going to happen is you're going to receive a link. I'll be putting all of your names into this site, and you'll receive a link with a password. And your login and your password. Your login is your email address. So I would make sure that you're using an email address. If you have like an EDU or, some of them can block certain things coming from a website platform. If you have a backup email address that you'd like to use, just shoot me or Dean an email and we'll add that there too. So I'm going to share my screen really quick. Can you all see my screen?
Yep.
Cool. So the link you get is going to be, it's not this particular one, it's going to be this minus logout. I've logged in so many times that it takes me straight to the rating page, and I really want to be able to show you what it looks like as soon as you log in. So here's just some general information. There's a link to the theme here on this page. And then I have some resources, again, the roles and responsibilities timeline. I did a reviewer site tutorial on my own, just kind of walk through. That was so awkward to just be talking to no one, but I persevered. So there is a reviewer video tutorial right here. This is just a link to that call for proposals webpage, which I just dropped in the chat. On that page is information that we asked for. There's also a PDF link of all of the questions for the proposal form. If any of you wanted to take a look at that, sometimes it's helpful to see what we're asking them. And then just the annual meeting website. So all these links are good. You will put in your user ID, which again is your email address and the password that the system assigns to you. If you don't have a password included, just reach out to me or Dean, and we can generate one for you. Some of you may have been in this review portal before or as a presenter and changed the password on your own. And so the system doesn't show, it's like coded a certain way that it doesn't send you your password. So if you forgot or you have any trouble, just reach out to Dean. You can also click the forgot password and it'll send you a reset link like most other websites. So you're just gonna sign in, and this is the page where all of the proposals will be that are assigned to you within your track. This is just a graph that will tell you how many you've reviewed or not. Sometimes people like to see that visually. And then this is a breakdown of the topics within the track that have been assigned to you. And then you'll see here, these are the list of proposals. These are actual proposals that have come in so far. And I'm assigned to all the tracks just because I'm on the back end. But as you'll see here, you'll see the track that you're assigned to. And then this will be broken down by the topics within that track. But you can also sort them by proposal or title or however you want to do it. Okay. This right here, I want to show you all. This is a link to get your proposals in batches of 10 on a PDF. So if you wanted to and print them out, I know that Dean likes to print them out and read them and make little notes. And that may be helpful for you. But keep in mind, you have to put your ratings in the system. Okay, so that's right here. And the more proposals you have, obviously, you're going to have several of these. And again, it's about 10 proposals, I think, per PDF. So here, you can click on the title of the proposal. It'll give you the title, the presentation format, the track, the description, describing what an attendee may learn. We found that it's been easier for us to get this information in a question like this, as opposed to what are the learning objectives. Not very many people are good at writing learning objectives, and we just want to know what it is that they should expect to gain from this. And that's going to be very helpful for you. That's not something we share. That really is for you all so that you can, okay, this makes sense, right? So I would, this is pretty key right here. Obviously, this is like not preferred audience, but this is the audience that this particular proposal may be best suited for. And then here's where we have the presenter qualifications. This is what I was talking about before. They're providing like general information about themselves and their expertise without adding names or institution or company names or anything like that. So when you're looking at the proposal, this is what you'll see. And after a while, you may choose to just go straight to review, because you're going to get the same information if you click the review link next to the title. However, this is where you would do your rating. Most people just go straight to the review. There are some who just want to get an idea about what some of them look like before they get started. But pretty much you're going to get the exact same, not pretty much, you are getting the exact same information. The review questions will fall right after this. So here at the bottom, you'll see, I am unable to rate this proposal. This is the recuse situation. You click that if you can't, and you press save. It's going to close out. It's going to give you the date when you reviewed it. And there's the note. I'm unable to rate this proposal based on connections or whatever. And that's all that's what will end up right there. And then you can go to your next one if you choose. Again, same situation. You get the information here. And you know what? I can review this proposal because I don't know any of these people. So you click, I am able to review this proposal. And then here are your criteria questions. The proposal topic directly speaks to the selected focus area. You've got exceeds expectations, meets criteria, not specific or unclear, needs improvement, does not meet criteria. Those are going to be your options. All of these have a scoring number behind them. So you have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions. And all these questions are listed in the document that you all received with the roles and responsibilities. And so you would just go through and respond to each of these questions based on your opinion. I'm just going to click through these so we can move forward. All of these are required responses. If you skip something, it's going to tell you you did something wrong. Here's the reviewer comments where you would leave constructive feedback. Again, that's helpful for the rest of your team when you all are sitting down to make selections. Occasionally, submitters will ask what the feedback was that you all had for them, particularly if it is rejected. So we want to make sure that it's constructive and helpful for them and for you and your team.
Tiffany?
Yes.
And just remind everyone that they have, if they're gonna not comment on the proposal, they at least need to say that they no comment.
Right. And it's okay. Yes. And it's okay to not have a comment to say, but yes, you do physically have to put no comment. Okay. Does all that look easy? Anyone have questions before I press save? Yes, John.
Hi, I just have a question about the I guess the tracks and the themes. I mean, just looking through the proposal outlines, some of these are a little maybe esoteric in terms of the categories. Like was the one like interpretation in the meaning of time. So how serious are we to take this, like in terms of it meets the focus area, if it's some of these categories are a little bit vague?
So if in fact, if they're vague to you, then they might be vague to someone else. And in general, if it's vague to someone else, they're probably not going to select that as the subcategory.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? Anything so far about the rating form? Nope. Did I do a good job? Yay! So when you're done reviewing your proposal and leaving your comment or no comments, you just hit save. And now you'll see the average rating that you scored that particular proposal. Again, you have the date when it's done. Hold on. Sorry. I believe, yes. And so your comments will also show up here. So this is kind of like, if you want to go back and kind of look, what did I give it? You know, because obviously they're not all going to say meets. Well, they may say meets criteria, but if you want to just go back and double check what you graded, why was this so much lower? I thought it was a good one. And then you'll also see your comments that you typed in. And that was found under the actual rating number. This just tells you, it takes you back to your proposal, and that date there just tells you when you rated it. The thing about that is if you wanted to change your rating, you can click on that too. So say you saved it and then you went back and you said, you know, I saw a proposal that was so much better. Now that I've seen that one, I think I'm going to rate this one a little bit lower. You can always go back and make that adjustment to that proposal and go back to it. You could change it, retype all this, press save, or just change one and press save. As long as all of these are filled, you can do that at any time. Again, you can click on any one of these and just look at the proposal before you start reviewing. Before long, you'll see all of your ratings here. Again, you can sort by rating. After you've started doing enough of them, you can sort by task, the title, and the proposal number. And that's how easy it really is. As long as you save after every review or rating that you do, you will not lose progress. You can X out, you can log back in whenever you want. I will say that what I think has worked for most is to dedicate a certain amount of time, either each day or on the weekends, that you're just able to focus on that. Can be kind of tricky doing at work unless it's kind of a chill day. But I would definitely kind of set up some time and say, oh, I'm going to review 15 today or 20 today or something like that, depending on your number, whatever makes you comfortable. And I think kind of breaking it out into segments sometimes makes it easier. I did a review for, I think it's Blue Loop, and I waited till the last minute and I had to review 150 of them. I was bonkers. I would never do that again. And especially in the type of role that I'm in, you would think I'd know better. I can't even tell you what I graded good or not, but I finished it. But it's very difficult to kind of like cram them all in. So I feel like also you kind of think a little bit better when you spread them out. It doesn't get all mixed up because some of the content, especially within the same topic within a track, can all start to sound, seem the same. So that's just a suggestion. Does anyone have any questions about the platform? Nope. See, easy. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I will be sending you like I said, an email with your login and password. You won't be able to go in and grade until after the call closes, because we do, like, I need to go and delete the comments because it's possible that submitters will see that and think it's been reviewed. So that's why we're not going to have it open until the call for proposals closes. And then also, in all fairness, sometimes we have some folks that pop up, they need a little bit more time. And so we don't want y'all to have to backtrack and all that other stuff. So we'll be assigning you to your track in there. Once your queue will start getting filled with proposals as you, thank you. We'll start getting filled with proposals as submitters finalize and submit their proposal. Any other questions for me? Okay, great. Thank you, everyone.
So if there aren't any questions, you'll be getting further instructions from us about the on-site meeting. Tiffany's going to be sending you information on your login and password. If you had any questions along the way, just feel free to send us an email and we'll get back to you as quickly as we can. And we look forward to seeing you on November 3rd and 4th. Thank you so much. Bye now.
Thank you.